In this lesson, I'm going to be covering a lot of material in a very short span of time. So if you would like, people have commented asking about, am I going to have PDFs for sale of the things that are in the lessons? So yes, this is the first one. It's taken me a long time to put together. It's about 50 pages long, and it contains everything in this lesson. And I also have all of these patterns taken and transposed to every key. So regardless of what instrument you play, you can follow along. And also, if you just really want the technical practice, everything will be laid out there for you. Improve your reading, improve your articulation, improve your memorization, and so on. You can find a link for it below or wherever the link is going to be. You can purchase it, go through it in your own time, at your own pace, and have that as a resource for study and building your technique. This lesson's a little bit different than my previous lessons. I'm going to be taking a small piece of vocabulary, and then I'm going to be showing you different ways that you can take a cell or a small group of notes from a solo and then work that through scales, through different dominant tonic resolutions, and also through the entire form of a tune. In this case, All the Things You Are. This shape is taken from a line in Charlie Parker's solo on Confirmation, where he plays this over the bridge. But I'm just going to isolate that and talk about working it so that you can get the most out of any cell that you're taking from a solo. In the original recording, this is in the context of a C minor, 7, F7, 2/5 in the key of B flat, my B flat. If you think about it in relation to C minor, so we're going 3, 1, 5, 7, 5, 6, which is the third of the 5 chord. Since I'm eventually going to be showing you how to use this shape over the entire form of All the Things You Are, I'm going to transpose it from this position to my F or concert A flat. And the articulation is really simple. It's D, ni, ni, D, ni, ni. You can take that shape and move it diatonically through the keys. You're getting a taste of every mode. I'm coming down the scale too. You can also think about ways that you can make this one continuous line. You get a good 8th note flow going, you can add in a little shape in between. And you can work that down the scale. That's a good technical practice, but it's not super functional. So what we can do to make this more immediately useful, we can take the original context of the shape, which is approaching the third of a dominant chord, and we can think about approaching thirds of all the various secondary dominants in the key. So we're going 3, 1, 5, 7, 5, 6, which is the third of the 5 chord. You can also think about moving ascending through the key. So you're going like 1, 5 of 2, 2, 5 of 3, 3, and so on. Now we can extend the duration of each chord by starting further up. Instead of starting from the third of the chord, we're actually starting from the fifth of the chord and continuing down until you resolve to the third of the 5 chord. So if you take it all the way up, you have a nice little way to work this into a regular 2-measure 2/5. You could also use this to play through a minor 2/5/1. Now we can take that same secondary dominant cycle and do it this way. Each chord is going to have one measure, and then each measure in between is going to be a secondary dominant chord, and we're moving through the scale down by step. So we're going to go 1, 5 of 7, 7, 5 of 6, so on. You can work your way through every scale degree going up the scale as well. So I'm adding a little rip to the 5 chord, going up to the 9th of each secondary dominant chord, and then continuing the pattern. Now these beboppers, oftentimes they're approaching the 3rd or the 5th or the root from a half step below. So we can add in these lower chromatic neighbor tones and make the thing sound true to the tradition of jazz and bebop, like this. Going up. You can also use this to hit changes and practice playing it in the context of tunes. I'm going to demonstrate one way you could do that, playing over All the Things You Are. You could also play these extended 2-measure things, continuous lines, hitting every 3rd on the downbeat, and couple that with your lower chromatic approach tones, and you get something that sounds pretty hip. If you like it, subscribe, all the things. And I'll see you next time, where I'm going to be talking about tone exercises.